Okay, so we're leaving Barbuda now, and I'm just trying to process everything we've just seen. I'm stunned by the whole thing, really. It's unbelievable, just the scale of devastation. It's just incredible, just like the apocalypse. It's the only real way I can describe it, really. When you see these sort of solid concrete structures and solid steel and homes that you thought were previously solid, it really makes you appreciate the scale of the power of that much wind, how much damage can be done by such strong sustained winds. So pretty much every home is severely damaged, either completely destroyed or at the very least severely damaged by water and essentially uninhabitable. So if at some point these residents are able to return, it's going to be totally devastating for them to see. The number of loose animals, livestock and pets is a real concern, and I don't know what they're going to have to do about that in trying to contain and remove some of those animals or make sure they're looked after, because that's going to be a long time before people can come back to the island. And of course, the longer it stays like this, the worse the conditions will be for survival of any of those animals. The other thing that's interesting to see is that there's not a lot of personal belongings left behind, because most of it would have been washed away completely by the storm surge. So there's really nothing for people to be able to retrieve or collect from their homes. Pretty much everything is just completely gone. And in terms of relief and recovery, well, there are no people, so there's very little urgent relief that we can provide. But for recovery, well, I don't really know where to begin. There's just such a huge amount of work that needs to be done, huge amount of stuff, debris needs to be cleared, and I don't know where to begin with the rebuilding efforts. It's an astonishing level of recovery required. They need to possibly demolish whole neighborhoods and restart, who knows. You've got to get all the infrastructure back up, sanitation, plumbing, water, electricity, communications. They're having to rebuild the town from scratch, from the ground up. And it's hard to imagine how they will get back without a huge amount of support. It's going to be months and months, if not years, before this is going to be any semblance of a community again. So we will head back to Antigua now and meet up with the rest of the team again to do a debrief. I'll share this footage with them and give our advice based on what we've seen on the ground and from the drone footage, and see if there's any way that we can help or what's the best way moving forwards. It may just be at this stage getting the word out, sharing images, sharing the footage so that people can see the reality of the situation and can start to raise some vital funds for this community for the long term in the future going forwards, because this is really just the beginning. So it's been a difficult sight to see, but hugely important, very impactful, very powerful, and just really hits home the extent and the severity of the damage caused by Hurricane Irma and the need for some really long-term efforts to help these people get back on their feet.